For the past 4 seasons, Geneva volleyball player Deanna Briody has been a fixture on the court for the Golden Tornadoes and arguably one of the best setters in the President's Athletic Conference. This fall, Briody shattered the school's all-time assist record to the tune of 4,424 assists, finishing over 700 better than the old mark held by Brandy Snavely. Playing with a quickness and grace that is unmatched, Briody is poetry in motion on the court. Off the court, Briody is a poet.
I want to write this truth on a paper plane and throw it out my window. And let the wind take it to the place where all the tired souls go. The heart should be a place where dreams and dandelions grow, a field of weeds and wildflowers that our brothers and our lovers and even our enemies sow. But the heart has become merely a poet's metaphor. Its magic is dead. It no longer beats with the intensity it was made for. And that is true for so many of us.
A writing major at Geneva, Deanna Briody doesn't just write poetry, but performs it in a special genre called spoken word.
Usually I describe it to people as poetry that is meant to be spoken. It's not meant to be read. It's similar to rap in some ways, but without music. And it's also supposed to be really poetic and poetically done. Yeah, just not supposed to be read. It's supposed to be heard and listened to, and that's a lot of the power behind it.
Musically inclined, Briody had already penned musical lyrics and songs on piano before arriving in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. Not until coming to Geneva was she turned on to spoken word poetry.
Actually, a friend of mine showed me a video of a spoken word poet when I was a freshman here, and I just really liked the medium. It's a really different art, and I liked the combination of performance with the more literary sort of writing. So I really liked the combination. It feels like a very unique art form.
Briody has taken that unique art form to a new level at Geneva, performing approximately twice a month at different venues in and around College Hill. For Golden Tornadoes head coach Wendy Smith, it wasn't until the team's talent show that she saw Briody wax poetic.
The first time I heard Deanna do her spoken word, the whole team had piled into a hotel room. So that's a lot of bodies in a little space. And we were taking turns doing a talent show. I didn't even know she had this gift in her. I didn't know what spoken word was. And that first performance, I was dumbfounded. I literally could hardly speak when she was finished. And I have been telling people ever since that that gift and that talent is good enough to perform before any president, any head of state. It's really, really powerful.
The team is kind of obsessed with Deanna and her poetry. Whenever she first performed for this year's team at the talent show, everybody was just kind of in awe. People were tearing up when she did her poetry, and then she also played a song on the piano and sang the one that she had written. And then from then on, people were just kind of amazed by her. 2 of the freshmen made t-shirts for one of her performances at the library this year. So it's just been pretty cool to see how everybody has just loved Deanna because of, everything that she is, but also because of her spoken poetry and everything.
Ashley Davis is an outside hitter who has been the recipient of numerous Briody passes. Both seniors, Davis remembers the first time she witnessed her teammates' gift of poetry and music.
I think the first time that I saw her do poetry was our junior year at the talent show, but the first time that I saw her perform a song that she had written was actually preseason our freshman year. We were up in one of the upperclassmen's rooms, and they had a keyboard up there, and so she played the keyboard and sang, and it was just really cool to see because you come in meeting everybody and it's just everybody's a volleyball player. You really don't know anything about the rest of their lives, and to see how talented she was in something so completely different than volleyball was just really cool.
Sometimes I wonder where this science comes from. Who made up these rules? When did this faulty femininity formula become the right one? I just don't understand how tryouts and performances have become a girl's entire life.
Unafraid to tackle controversial subject matter, Briody has authored a poem concerning the public image, or as she puts it, requirements of females today, titled Pinocchio's Sister. Another of her poems that has stirred up conversation deals with illegal immigration.
I would say that's caused some conversation. just because I take on the perspective of an illegal immigrant. But I think I haven't done that poem in a variety of venues because I think it's a very sort of unique poem. I think it calls for a unique situation performance-wise.
Briody has taken on many issues with her spoken word poetry, but one subject she doesn't write about is volleyball.
It's hard for me to blend those two, I think. They're very different worlds, even though they're both things I'm really passionate about. So I think I've written poetry about competition and about volleyball, but spoken word is a harder genre for me to get into writing about volleyball.
While she doesn't write about volleyball, Briody agrees that, like poetry, the game of volleyball can be a rhythmic art form.
There's definitely a beauty to the game. I mean, when it's done well, when I watch a really, really good volleyball match, I'm giggling through the whole thing because it's just so cool to watch. And so I think that it's something I've really appreciated. And this year, there's several matches where I felt like we clicked in a really beautiful way.
And when Briody partakes in the controlled elegance of a volleyball match, she is one of the best. During Briody's tenure at Geneva, the volleyball program has amassed 99 wins and claimed one PAC championship in 2011. In what was poetic justice, the proficient setter was named the PAC Player of the Year.
Volleyball here has been such a joy, and I think I've met people and made relationships that I would never have made elsewhere. And it's just been fun, and the fact that we've been successful for the most part has been great. I mean, no athlete likes to lose, so we've loved coming in and being successful. And sophomore year was when we won the PAC was awesome and so fun and so memorable in so many ways. And this year's senior night, I think, was one of my highlights of the 4 years, too, when we beat Bethany here. It was just fantastic, and there were a ton of people out to support us, so it was just a lot of fun. It's been great.
Whether it be in the heat of battle on the volleyball court or performing her spoken word poetry, Briody's talents are something that has left an indelible mark on her teammates and coaches.
It is amazing how talented she is. She has her spoken word, she can sing, she can write the songs, and then she is amazing at volleyball and other sports. I mean, she's just an athlete, and it's so cool to see how many different facets of life she is so skilled in.
When she walked into Geneva in her freshman year, she was never a freshman. She was immediately a leader, even as such a young player. And she's maintained that respect of her teammates. She just knows what to say. She knows how to rally the troops. She's also an incredible encourager. So she's the most encouraging voice, and I've appreciated her over the years because she's helped me temper some of my harsh words to maybe a little bit more encouraging words. So I certainly have learned something from her that I will take away.
Now done with her volleyball career, Deanna Briody isn't quite sure what the future will hold. She has aspirations to perhaps teach someday, but no matter what may be in store in the years to come, one thing will be most certainly a constant, and that is her poetry.
And through it all, I will write poetry, though I know it's an old-fashioned art. I'll use my pen as a flashlight as I walk through the weeds and wildflowers of this human heart, for it is a garden of beauty and pain, and the world forgets that truth. And let's be real, God knows I'm one of those tired souls that sometimes forgets it too, but all the same, I'm gonna write this truth on a paper plane. I'm gonna throw it out my window. I'm gonna pray the wind takes it to all the hopeless places it needs to go. I pray some weary stranger sees it and picks it up and realizes that his heart isn't meant to be fenced in and caged up. I hope he realizes that he has a choice, just like each of us, to be greater and freer and so much more than just enough. Thank you.